Before the Chicago Bulls get to start training camp tomorrow, they had their media day today. And I'm here to let you all know and give you the biggest takeaways from the Chicago Bulls Media Day 2024. Y'all know we're going to talk about it, break it down, have some fun, and talk a little smack. But you gotta hear the music first. Cognac, gang. Shy Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on the daily episode. If you're tuned in with me today, make sure you hit the like button. You subscribe to the channel, and you hit that notification bell as well. I hope you all enjoyed the weekend. We did not do much content on the Bulls. We was locked in on our Bears. We got a dub. Now we get to talk about Chicago Bulls basketball, which is around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. You already know when it comes to the media day, we get a lot of things that a lot of people say, and we try to dissect it and break it all down. And we try to go from there to try to draw our own conclusions. But hey, let's get right into it. The Chicago Bulls, they started off their media day coming from the front office, Arturas Karnisovas and Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan, when he talked about the team, he admitted that some of the challenges surrounding the team will be their defensive side of the ball. But he also mentioned that it's going to be by committee and that he's going to do the best thing. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do his best to ensure that the Chicago Bulls are doing well on the defensive end. They also talk about the youthfulness and the play style. Billy Donovan and AK raved about the new play style, talking about speeding it up, talking about winning as many games as possible. I know a lot of times we heard that the Chicago Bulls want to win as many games as possible these last few weeks. We've heard that, and they came out and reiterated the same point, even going so far as to say that we are just excited, not really saying that they want to protect the top 10 pick, but damn, yeah, you got to be able to protect it at least a little bit. I know you probably don't want the Chicago Bulls to kind of just give it all away, but nonetheless, it is what it is. This is how we moving, and you got to show a lot of love to the front office, I guess. Can we buy into it? Will we believe what they say? Maybe not. It was just very, very interesting to hear some of these guys talk and to hear some of these things. They also reiterated the point that guys are, you know what I'm saying, player development is going to be one of the things, and not from what it sounds like, that includes sending guys down to the G League if necessary. Another takeaway from media day thus far is that Patrick Williams has been said to be good to go. I know that when we came in I think it was last week, we talked about, it was the last week or the week before, we talked about the potential that Patrick Williams possibly had a injury setback. We even went as far as saying, does this now open the door for Montes Buzelis? But then Billy Donovan and the coaching staff said, hey, we could send Montes Buzelis down to the G League. So that kind of, turned everything over to a new leaf. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, we looking at it like, hey, that's good to hear. It's good to hear that Patrick Williams is going to be good to go. It's good that Patrick Williams is going to be ready for training camp. It's good to hear that the setback that he had nothing to do with his foot. It was just some soreness. So we're going to take that for what it is and just be good with it. I live with it, to be honest with you. Another takeaway is Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, we're not so sure if Lonzo Ball will be ready for the start of the season. We heard from Lonzo Ball himself. We heard from the guys that's running the show. The goal is to have him ready, but they want to see how he responds right now in training camp starting tomorrow and just see, hey, how will he respond? It's already on the table that he ain't playing no back-to-backs. It's already on the table that he will be playing under a minutes restriction. So middle finger to y'all for clowning and talking smack to me when I told y'all this is how it was going to be. I want my apologies down in that chat. And don't worry, I'm going to call C-Dub so he can get my apology over the phone. Because I keep telling y'all, don't expect Lonzo Ball to come out right away and play 20 minutes per game. Over 20 minutes. I know Billy Donovan threw in there 25 to 30. It ain't happening, cuz. It ain't happening. But, hey, I will say this. At least I am happy enough to hear that Lonzo Ball is closer than he has ever been in the last 2 years. This is the closest we've gotten to the point to where we're seeing Lonzo Ball back on the basketball court in 2 years. So I'm happy for him. And he also mentioned that he got a brand new knee. He got a brand new knee. He also mentioned that, hey, he might not be as athletic as he once was, but he will trust in his ability and his IQ. So shout out to him. He said he can't tell what the future holds, but he gonna be right there ready to rock. You know what I'm saying? He definitely know. Hey, back-to-backs off the table, ladies and gentlemen. Back-to-backs off the table. You know what I'm saying? We also heard from Josh Giddey. Another takeaway was Josh Giddey. They started off the session with Josh Giddey pretty much talking about his time at the Olympics. Come to find out, one of those ankle twists at the end of his Olympic run, I believe it was the last game that he played versus Serbia, he twisted his ankle, and come to find out, he tore a ATFL in his ankle, but he was able to rehab it. There's no setbacks. He should be good to go. He went and talked about how well he wants to see the Chicago Bulls play. He talked about some of his aggressiveness when it comes to some of the turnovers that he was committing, but also did mention that he's going to make sure that he's monitoring that to where it doesn't become an issue for the Chicago Bulls. He's excited to be playing fast for the Chicago Bulls. He wants to play well for the Chicago Bulls. He acknowledges, you know what I'm saying, his role on the Chicago Bulls. He's excited about all the young guys around the team, and also even mentioned that, hey, he spoke with Zach and Montes. He said they want to play up tempo. Right here, he says, we started scrimmaging with 14-second shot clocks to emphasize the pace we want to play. Once it becomes a habit, this team's going to be pretty scary in the open court, end quote, coming from Josh Giddey. Look, I hear all the good stuff, and it sounds great, but I'm going to just take it for what it is for right now. I'm going to just take it for what it is for right now and just be excited that Chicago Bulls basketball is bike. Shout out to my people for the South. But Josh Giddey, the last point, he also emphasized that, hey, he wants to see how he can help Zach LaVine. That's a major one right there. You want to help Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine might be your way out. Unless y'all talking about something that's totally different and what we believe that, or at least for me, I believe that we'll be seeing Zach LaVine just a little bit more longer. I don't know how long, I'll be real with you, but I think I will be seeing Zach LaVine just a little bit more longer. Now, when we talk about Josh Giddey, we also got to talk about the takeaways from Zach LaVine's time in front of the media. Zach LaVine opened up his media addressing the rumors, talking about things that were said back in the past, discussions that that happened in the past. He pretty much said that, look, all that stuff is behind him now. He's ready. He's locked in. He's excited about this camp that he's in right now. My man said that he ready to go. He ready to hoop. And he's in a great headspace. And I got to show love from that. I think it's sometimes when you're dealing with injury, when you're talking about different things that's going on within the organization, if you could definitely lose your mind in that. But Zach LaVine did mention that he's got a lot of things to be proud of. He's feeling the best that he's felt in a very long time, and that he's in a great headspace. He went on to say, I don't take that for granted. Anything negative, rumors, drama, I leave that in the past. Focus now on this team, learning and having a good time. I had conversations with the front office and the commitment and respect they gave me. I'm going to give them that same respect. Not just the way that I play, but the way I conduct myself. I'm excited about this camp. Hey, I think that can spell for Zach LaVine sticking around just a little bit more longer. Just a little bit more longer. That's just what it's gonna come down to, man. These guys, it's gonna be very, very exciting from to see what these young Chicago Bulls guys can do, man. It's gonna be very, very exciting. Billy Donovan alluded to the 3-guard lineup, said that it still is not off the table. Josh Giddey was a guy that, you know what I'm saying, looked like he was excited for the potential of having that 3-guard lineup. I question Billy Donovan in this regard. If you don't go to the 3-guard lineup, do you just gonna say screw Kobe White? You know what I'm saying? Because when we think about the way that it's set up is, yeah, you got 3 guards, but then when you go to the defensive end, you still playing a traditional, you still got your 2 guards, your 2 forwards, and your center, right? Josh Giddey, big as hell, 6'8". Once he go from playing point guard on one end, he could absolutely go to guarding forwards on the other end. So what is there to talk about? You need the passing ability, but you also need the scoring emphasis from Kobe White, along with the hope of solid chemistry amongst Kobe White, Josh Giddey, and LaVine. Hey, I think that's a good way to win basketball games. But nonetheless, that's what we got all coming out of the media day. And like we always say, man, it's things that come out of media day, and some stuff tick me off, some stuff make me happy. But for this particular media day, I'm not really necessarily happy. I'm just even keel with it. Because if we keeping it a buck, one of the takeaways that I got from Nikola Vucevic is that he just here. I don't really see no excitement coming out of Nikola Vucevic. To be quite honest with you, I don't really care what Nikola Vucevic has to say right now, because the last few years I heard a lot of things from Nikola Vucevic. He ain't even rise up to those expectations or live up to those expectations. So we just got to take that as a grain of salt and keep pushing. That's how I look at it. But before we go, obviously it's a lot of things that we could dive into. I want to talk about Kobe White. Kobe White went on to say during his media availability session, that was a lot of up in there, but it's all good. Kobe White said this summer, my number one focus was working on my conditioning so I can be effective on both ends, hitting contested shots, ball handling, playing in the paint more, better pace, keeping my dribble. Just tried to work on a little bit of everything this summer. And then he went on to also show love to DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso. Said, I learned so much from those guys. I will forever be grateful. I was super grateful I got to learn from those legends, pick their brains, and I'm even more grateful I get to call them friends. Shout out to Kobe White. I hope that, you know what I'm saying, we get to see Kobe White elevate himself one more damn time, hopefully 2 more times. But nonetheless, I really believe that Kobe White should be coming into this season with a chip on his shoulder, because he was definitely supposed to win the Most Improved Player award this past season. I don't know if they're going to place him in that category again for the sake of doing it, because if you think about Tyrese Maxey and how he won it, we as the fans already knew he was one of the most improved players year prior, and then coming into this one, making an all-star team, he was already here. That's what we already knew, but apparently the voters thought differently. So I'm hoping that Kobe White could just learn and come out and do what he absolutely needs to do to make sure that we could cheer his ass on, make sure that he can explode on the offensive side of the ball, hold his side down on the defensive side of the ball, and we shall see what happens with the rest of the guys. Lastly, before we get up out of here, the Chicago Bulls, we shall see what's going to happen with them. These guys are pretty much saying that they want to be competitive. They want to build a culture. They want to play with more speed. They want to win as many games as possible. All right, we going to see. But that is the biggest takeaways from today's media day. If you were not able to catch it, we go ahead and give you that update now that it's kind of concluding. So make sure before you roll out of here, you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. We appreciate the continued support. We about to keep ramping this thing up, and y'all already know training camp starts tomorrow. So y'all tune in and get ready to go. Basketball is right around the corner. The Chicago Bulls' first game is on Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, October 8th, and it's going to be busting. So y'all get in tune. It's going to be one of those. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. October 8th is the first preseason game for your Chicago Bulls. But thank y'all so much. Make sure you always see red. Y'all already know. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Cognac. Gang.